This is the story of a woman who rose from the working-class streets of Rome to the highest office in Italy. A woman often compared to Donald Trump for her boldness, her populist energy, her fiery stage presence and her war on what she calls the establishment. But unlike Trump, her journey began not in business, but in the raw political trenches of Italy's youth movements. Today we dive deep into the life of Giorgia Meloni, Italy's first female prime minister. From her childhood and education, to her political rise, her family life, her habits, her net worth, her values, her controversies and her future plans. Giorgia Meloni was born on January 15, 1977, in Rome, Italy. She grew up in Garbatella, a tough, humble neighborhood filled with small streets, old buildings, hard work and survival. Her father left the family when she was still a child, and from that point onward her mother played the central role in her life. Meloni often speaks proudly about being shaped not by wealth or privilege, but by struggle, responsibility and identity. Growing up in a district known for its working-class reality, she learned early what it meant to fight for something. The streets of Garbatella taught her to speak directly, move quickly and understand people, skills that later became her political weapons. Meloni attended the Amerigo Vespucci Technical Institute in Rome. Unlike many global leaders who come from elite universities, her journey did not pass through a prestigious academic world. She completed her technical diploma, and instead of moving toward a traditional university path, she moved directly into activism and political engagement. This unusual route became part of her brand, a political leader shaped not by theory, but by real-world experience in grassroots politics. At just 15 years old, Meloni joined the youth wing of a right-wing political movement. While most teenagers were thinking about school or hobbies, she was already giving speeches, organizing events and debating ideology. She became deeply involved in student political groups, and by her early 20s she had already earned recognition as a passionate, sharp, and fearless activist. In 1998 she was elected as a councillor in the province of Rome, a rare achievement for someone so young. Her rise continued. In 2006 she entered Italy's Chamber of Deputies. 2 years later, at the age of just 31, she became the Minister for Youth, one of the youngest cabinet ministers in modern Italian history. Her political career was no accident. It was a steady, determined climb. In 2012, Giorgia Meloni took a bold step. She co-founded her own political party called Brothers of Italy, Fratelli d'Italia. It started small, barely noticeable on the national stage. But Meloni had a plan to rebuild Italy's right-wing identity around patriotism, traditional values, and national pride. Over the next decade, she shaped the party with her fiery speeches, her sharp debates, and her slogan, God, Fatherland, Family. By 2022, her party surged from the political margins to the center of Italian power, winning more than a quarter of the national vote. It was a political earthquake, and at its center stood Giorgia Meloni. On October 22, 2022, Giorgia Meloni made history by becoming the first female prime minister of Italy. Her rise was not only historic, it was symbolic. In a country that had never seen a woman lead its government, Meloni shattered a barrier that had stood for generations. She formed a coalition government and began pushing her agenda. Stronger borders, stronger national identity, family-based policies, and a more cautious approach to the European Union. Italy watched closely, Europe watched closely, and so did the world. Giorgia Meloni's political philosophy can be summed up in a few themes. She believes deeply in protecting national identity. She champions the traditional family structure, motherhood and cultural roots. She calls for strict control of immigration and stronger borders. She is skeptical of Brussels and the idea of giving too much power to the European Union. Yet she supports NATO and stands firmly with Ukraine in the war with Russia. Her supporters call her a patriotic defender of Italian culture. Her critics accuse her of being too conservative or too hardline. Whatever one believes, one thing is clear. She is a powerful voice reshaping the direction of European politics. Giorgia Meloni is not only a politician, she is also a mother. In 2016 she welcomed her daughter into the world, a moment that changed her life. She often says that motherhood gives her strength and purpose, and she regularly references being a mother in her speeches. She was in a long partnership with journalist Andrea Giambruno, though their relationship reportedly ended in 2023. Despite her enormous political responsibilities, Meloni emphasizes a simple, grounded lifestyle. She does not project luxury or extravagance. She often highlights her working-class roots and prefers to keep her private life quiet. As for personal habits, she is known for long work hours, intense preparation, and very little sleep. There is no verified public information about smoking or cigarettes. She prefers privacy regarding her daily routines, and her public image focuses mainly on her political identity and her role as a mother. Giorgia Meloni's net worth is estimated at around $2 million. This includes her income as a member of parliament and as prime minister, along with personal savings and assets. By global political standards, her wealth is relatively modest. This reinforces her image as a leader who rose not through wealth or connections, but through long years of political work. Some online sources show higher estimates, but the most reliable evaluations place her wealth in the $1 to $2 million range. Throughout her career, Meloni has focused strongly on three major themes: family, cultural identity, and national sovereignty. She wants Italy's birth rate to rise and frequently promotes policies to help mothers and families. She wants stronger border control and believes that Italy must decide its own future without external pressure. She also wants to strengthen Italy's position on the world stage while protecting its traditions. Meloni's future depends on how successfully she manages Italy's economy, her coalition, and her relationship with the European Union. But one thing is certain: she has already left a permanent mark on Italian politics. This is the story of Giorgia Meloni, a woman shaped by struggle, driven by identity, and powered by conviction. Whether you support her or disagree with her, there is no denying her impact on Italy and on Europe. If you enjoyed this full documentary, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below with the next world leader or celebrity you'd like us to cover. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.